I have been training calisthenics for 6 years, but in the first 3 years I used to look like this. My physique was awful, I didn't make any progress, and I was basically stuck at one place. And now 3 years later, I look like this, and the biggest reason for my transformation was the mindset shift that I had. And this is exactly what I'm going to teach you in this video. I'm going to teach you how to build a proper mindset that is going to allow you to make consistent progress in calisthenics and basically in every single thing in your life. But first of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the wrong mindset that I used to have before. So 6 years ago, when I started training calisthenics, I was super motivated because it looked cool for me, you know, all of these skills, all of these handstand, planches, front levers, dynamics, and it was so cool, and I was so motivated to get to this level. I wanted to get stronger, I wanted to build my dream physique, because at that time I used to be skinny fat and I didn't really like my physique. Like, it wasn't completely awful, but let's be honest, it wasn't like a great physique. And I started working out, but I wasn't like, you know, crazy consistent. I didn't follow the perfect workout plan, I didn't follow any diet. I was just showing up sometimes to the calisthenics park, working out, and in the beginning it was fine. Like, in the first couple of months, maybe even 1 year, I did some progress. I started doing, you know, more pull-ups, more dips, and I was kind of progressing, but I didn't really push my limits. I didn't really like try it hard. And after the first year, I stopped making progress, because in the beginning it's easy to make progress, but once you get stronger, you level up, and the stronger you become, the harder it is to make progress, basically in every sport. And at that time, I was living a pretty comfortable life. Like, I was 15, 16 years old when I just started calisthenics, and up to 17 years old, I was just comfortable. Like, I had a girlfriend, I had some friends, I used to play video games a lot with my friends, I used to go out with my girlfriend, and basically I wasn't disciplined at all. Like, I was just having fun 24/7 and basically wasting my time, and I just sometimes worked out with my friends. As I said, I wasn't so consistent, it wasn't so serious. I was just going to the calisthenics park, doing some pull-ups, doing some dips, and I had no structure. Like, I had no basically stronger motivation to push me forward so that I can actually improve. I reached a certain level in calisthenics, something like, let's say, 15 pull-ups, 20 dips, something like that, and I was comfortable with it. Like, I didn't progress further after that, and the biggest reason for that is because I didn't have a reason to. As I said, I was living a comfortable life. I had a girlfriend, I had some friends, I was spending time with them. My physique wasn't like complete bullshit. It wasn't the best physique, but let's be honest, it's not like, you know, I wasn't crazy fat. I was just not in a great shape. And I was just staying in this place for years. Like, from 15 to 17 years old, I was staying on the same level in calisthenics because I didn't push harder, I didn't follow a structure, I didn't track my workouts, and I didn't have a reason to improve. And my mindset was wrong. Like, I was thinking, okay, well, why should I push harder? Like, I have everything that I need. I'm playing video games with my friends, I'm having a girlfriend, life's great, I'm 16 years old and I don't need anything else. Like, why should I push harder? And I remember at that time, I was always like pissed off when I look at the mirror and I see my physique, because I didn't like my physique. Like, I was living a comfortable life, but at the same time, I wasn't satisfied with the way I look. I was skinny fat, I wasn't so good in calisthenics, and that used to piss me off, but still I didn't do anything about it. I was just complaining about my genetics. I was complaining that, you know, something is wrong with me. The problem is not in me. The problem is that, you know, I just can't have a six-pack and be lean because of whatever reason. But my diet was awful. I was eating like junk food all the time. I was eating whatever I want. I didn't track any calories, any Like, I used to eat a lot of processed food every single day, and you can see the results. Like, I was feeling awful, feeling and also looking awful, but I was still like complaining, yeah, it's because of my genetics, it's because, like, you know, it's just not for me. Maybe, you know, only the chosen people can do like crazy calisthenics elements like straddle punches, handstands, and all of that stuff. And I used to make these excuses because it was easier to make excuses instead of actually, you know, being disciplined and saying to myself, no, enough is enough. I don't like the way I look and I'm going to change something about it. But yeah, basically that was my mindset for a few years. Like, I was living in comfort and I didn't really have the need to change. So I was just staying in that, you know, place where I have some kind of a normal physique. It wasn't so bad. I had some strength in calisthenics, as I said, like 15 pull-ups, 20, maybe 25 dips, something like that. And I was in that comfort zone, but this comfort zone is actually the most dangerous zone, because when you're comfortable, you don't have the need to get better. And when you're not trying to get better, it's not good, because you're going to stay in the same place for years, and it's not a good thing. And so the thing that actually made me shift my mindset completely and turn my whole life around and basically change my personality on 180 basically, was breaking up with my ex, with my girlfriend at that time. I was 17 years old and I just thought to myself, okay, like, I didn't make any progress for 3 fucking years. I'm staying in the same place in my personal development, in calisthenics, in school, because I used to go to school at that time. And that used to piss me off. Like, 3 years have passed by and I'm on the same place. I didn't get stronger in calisthenics, my physique didn't get better, and all of that is because of me. I finally understood that the problem is me. Basically, I was the problem. But this is a good thing, because when you understand that the thing which is holding you back from making progress and from reaching your goals in calisthenics is you, this is when you can change it. Because if it's not in your control, this is a bad thing, because you can't do anything about it. But when you understand that you are the problem, it means that you have the power to change it. It means that now you can do something about it. So I broke up with my girlfriend. It was one of the hardest decisions in my life, especially at that time. I broke up with her because I was feeling like she's holding me back. I was feeling like I'm not able to basically lock in and start making progress in my life. Not just because of her, like, she's not the only reason, but it was part of it. So I said to myself that enough is enough. I want to get stronger, I want to get to the next level, I want to change, not just in calisthenics, but overall in my whole life. I wanted to make progress in my life in general, in my personal development, in my skills. And basically the first thing that I focused on, obviously, was getting better in calisthenics and actually building the physique that I wanted to have. And in the beginning, after I made this mindset shift, after I realized, okay, it's my fault and now I have to do something about it, now I have to change, the first thing that I did was just being consistent. Once again, a big part of making progress, especially in calisthenics, it's not always about having the perfect workout plan. It's not always about having the perfect diet plan or the perfect recovery. Yeah, of course these things are important, but if your mindset is not right, all of that doesn't matter. So I started believing in myself. I started actually believing that I can achieve the things that I'm working towards. I started actually believing that I can have the dream physique that I want. I can learn the skills in calisthenics that I want to learn. I can learn the clean muscle up. I can learn the straddle punch. I started believing in myself and I started showing up every single day. Without the perfect plan, without the perfect diet, I just started showing up every single day. I started putting in the reps. I started working out more consistently. I started being more serious about my workouts. I didn't skip any workouts. I just started being consistent. And in the first few months, this was more than enough for me to make progress. Because just by showing up, just by believing in myself, just by putting in the work, I started seeing the results. My physique was getting better. I started getting stronger in calisthenics, and I finally started seeing the results. Like, the thing that I needed the most was that mindset shift. Not having the perfect program, just simply believing in myself, showing up and doing the work that, at that time I thought that I must do, which was doing pull-ups, dips, working on the basics of calisthenics. And in a few months I started seeing the results. And the biggest thing that helped me keep me accountable throughout the whole time was actually knowing my why. Why am I doing all of that? Why do I want to get better? Why am I showing up every single day? And my why was the fact that I wanted to change. I wanted to improve. I didn't like the past version of myself. I didn't like Danny, who is, skinny fat, who is weak in calisthenics, because I was ashamed of me. I was training calisthenics at that time for 3 or 4 years, and I was barely doing a muscle up. It was an ugly muscle up. I was ashamed of myself. And my why was the reason for me that kept me accountable every single day, was to improve, because I hated the past version of me. I didn't want to be like him. I wanted to get better. I wanted to build a better physique. I wanted to get stronger in calisthenics, and I wanted to change because I hated staying on the same place for years. And once you find out your why, this is the thing that is going to keep you accountable, because if you don't know why you're doing all of that, if you don't know why you're working out, why you're training calisthenics, why do you want to achieve a certain skill in calisthenics, for example, and most importantly, you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to get there. So you have to find it, find out your why, and this why, the reason why you're trying so hard, is going to keep you accountable. And trust me, in the beginning, you don't need a lot. You just need to show up, you just need to do the work, and you just need to believe in yourself. This is the mindset that is going to help you keep making progress in calisthenics consistently. And so what to do now when you have found out your why, when you know why you're training so hard, when you know why you want to get better, why you want to get stronger, and you start to actually believe in yourself. What to do next? This is basically the last step. So once you know why you're doing it, you have to set a reasonable goal for yourself. So what do I mean by that? For example, if you're a total beginner, you can do let's say 5 pull-ups. Don't set a goal of holding the full planche in 2 months. You're not going to do it, obviously. So don't set such high goals that are going to be depressing for you. You're not going to reach this goal soon. So set some reasonable goals. If you can do 5 pull-ups now, say to yourself, okay, in the next 3 months I want to get to 15 pull-ups. This is a reasonable goal, and it's pretty doable. You can go from 5 to 15 pull-ups in 3 months easily. So set a reasonable goal and start working towards this goal every single day, because this is going to be kind of your daily motivation, because it is something challenging for you. It's not so far away. It's not like a depressing goal. You know that if you put in the work, you're going to get there. And you don't need years, you just need a few months for that. So this is going to be kind of your motivation to keep showing up and putting in the reps, combined with your why and with the self-belief that we already talked about. The second thing is that you need to commit 100% to the process, and you need to understand that this is a long journey. Training calisthenics is not the same as going to the gym. It's way harder, and it takes time mastering your body weight. You're not going to in the gym, you can just show up, you can do some bicep curls, do some exercises, and you can go home. You don't need to push your limits that hard. You don't need to give it your all. You don't need to even if you're tired, you can still do a week workout, go home, and that's fine. Because if you're going to the gym, your main focus is to build some muscle mass, and it's way easier to build muscle mass instead of building strength and actually mastering your body weight in calisthenics. So in calisthenics, you have to commit on 100% to the process, and you need to understand that it's going to take time, but it's going to be worth it in the end, because in the end you're going to have a crazy physique and you're going to be able to master your body weight, do cool skills with your body, and actually feeling confident and strong in your own body. This is the coolest thing about calisthenics. Like, you're not just having a great physique, you can also use that physique and do cool stuff with your body, cool impressive skills, and you know, the feeling of mastering your body weight is amazing. Like, I can't even compare it with going to the gym. Like, going to the gym is boring. I mean, what is the point of having a great physique if you can't really use that physique? Because in calisthenics you get the physique, but you also get the skills, and you know, it's just way cooler. So once you commit to calisthenics, you need to get all in. You need to take care of your diet, of your workouts, and you have to track everything so that you can make sure that you're progressing over time. Once again, this video is mostly about building the proper mindset, so I'm not going to go too deep into, you know, structuring your workouts, your diet, recovery, and all that stuff. You can check my other videos. I have a lot of other videos where I talk about how to work out properly, how to eat properly, and all of that stuff. This video is going to be mostly about mindset, but when you decide to go all in, you have to actually start doing all of that. You have to optimize your diet, training, and recovery. And finally, another super important thing is you have to always strive for new quality knowledge, because in the beginning, as I said, it's easy to make progress. You're just going to be consistent, you're just going to show up, you're just going to do some basic exercises, and you're going to make progress. You're going to get stronger, I promise you, just by showing up. Like, obviously not eating BS food all the time, avoid processed food, eat mainly whole foods, show up for your workouts, sleep well, train hard, and just by doing these things you're going to make progress for at least 1 year, I promise you. And at some point when you get stronger, now it gets a little bit harder. Now you need a little bit more information, and you have to actually combine your mindset, the mindset that we just built throughout this whole video, your self-belief, and basically the reason why you're doing it. You have to combine it with proper training, dieting, and recovery. And the stronger you become, the more knowledge you have to seek in order for you to be able to improve your workouts. So it's important for you to find some quality sources of information. It may be me. I mean, if you watch some of my videos, as I said, I have a lot of videos about working out, dieting, recovery, and all of that stuff. If you watch my videos, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be able to improve your level in calisthenics like crazy. But this is just like a general rule. You have to always strive for quality new information so that you can actually get better. And once you learn the new information, you have to implement it as fast as possible. Otherwise, you're going to forget it and you're never going to use it. So basically, let's summarize it. You find quality information and you implement it straight away into your training to see if it works for you. Because what works for me may not be working perfectly for you. This is how calisthenics work, and it's not the same. You can't apply, for example, the same training plan just for every person, because it's not going to work for every person. So you have to learn, implement the knowledge, and see what works for you and what doesn't. So basically that was it. That was the thing that helped me basically start making progress in calisthenics, because once again, the progress that I made in calisthenics for the past 3 years. In the first 3 years, once again, I used to look awful, and now I look like this, and now I learned the straddle plunge, I learned the one arm handstand, I can do 90 degrees handstand push-ups, can do a lot of handstand push-ups. Like, my strength is crazy right now compared to my younger self, and the biggest reason for that change was my mindset. Obviously, yes, I'm way more knowledgeable than before. I know more things. I know how to structure my workouts properly, how to eat properly, all of that stuff. It's important, yes, but the mindset is the thing that helped me actually make this transition and start this new path, going up. So basically, this is what you need to do. Let's summarize it once again. Find out your why. why you're doing it, why do you want to get stronger, why do you want to build that physique. Second, commit to the process, go all in. You need to understand that just by focusing on your workouts, you're not going to make crazy progress. You have to combine smart training with hard training, with proper dieting and proper recovery. And once you add mindset to all of that, you're going to get crazy results, like that's guaranteed. Basically, that was it for this video. I hope that you liked it and you learned something new for you. Once again, implement this knowledge, because otherwise, as I said, you are just wasting your time if you're going to watch this whole video without implementing all of the stuff that I just said. So find this reason and start implementing the rules that I told you just right now. And of course, if you feel like you need some help with structuring your workouts, you don't know how to work out properly, how to eat properly, and you need some help with that, you can book a call with me. The link is going to be in the description for my one-on-one coaching. It's a free discovery call, and on that call we're going to see if what I'm doing in my one-on-one coaching is suitable for you and if you're actually going to benefit from that. You can also check my Instagram, the link is going to be in the description. And of course, if you have any questions, you can just write some comments down below, or you can just shoot me a DM on Instagram. As always, expect redemption, and see you in the next one.